Happy Friday!
Made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. Oh, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Thank you so much, Cat OG. 7 months coming in clutch. How you doing? Thank you so much, my dear.
I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done
War.
feeling your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause I've started over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my
That's
side.
Rocco. No further. There she is. Reflecting. Singarali. Really not crazy. Thank you, Bella. Janice triggered 11 months. What you doing, girl? Happy for a year anniversary. Yes, ma'am.
Don't run from the truth. Your lies.
Ollie.
You
Thank
play
you so
me
much, my dear.
just like I do. I still can't believe had me on a leash.
Love.
Cutting all my teeth with all the lies you bring. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I
Love you.
won't let you go. I need you by my side.
Brandy wine. How you doing, John? Not much. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Brandy wine. Appreciate that. It's me again. Hello, Tuesday. Susan. Not crazy. In a log.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And now we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Lisa 2. Judy C. Groovy Gal.
I'm on my last straw. I'm broken.
Reverend with his mom.
I'm done feeling your lies.
You're ready to ride the girl wave.
I can't run your place in this faulty game. In all the words you speak.
Let's go.
Come along with me. Together with the truth.
Ashley, saved by Grace.
Got pearls and I laughed at you.
DJ Mac.
The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun.
Dandelion.
Hit the light and share the vibe. Crush those pearls,
Early 8.
let's take the ride.
Eric.
Helen's here and spread the
Grade
cheer.
88.
Members make the truth so clear.
Cricket.
Spreading truth is what we do.
Dancing Dragon.
So hit subscribe and join the
Lorraine.
crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts.
Damn.
In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the light.
Castle.
Catch those pearls, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. With every laugh, we lift our hearts. In the search, we all take part.
Pearls were bound together through the storm and darkest weather. We search high, we search low, together everywhere we go. Justin's here and he's going live with the best fans by my side. We're a family, we hold strong, together we can right the wrong. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars, searching wide.
Donna, thank you, love.
Every stream, every heartfelt plea, we are one in this community.
Thank you, my dear.
Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share,
Thank you, love.
we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars, searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea, we are one in this community.
RW.
But we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars, searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea, we are one in this community. In the night or in the day, girls will light and lead the way. Just as hard and your support, together we will hold the fort. Lily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care.
And Elizabeth. Catherine B. And Judy C.
Click play and come along with me.
D. Tina.
Together with the truth you see.
Denise.
Got our pearls and our laughter.
Rhonda. Bonnie.
Too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal.
The Priscilla.
Join the journey, it's just begun.
Here we go.
We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. Defending truth is what we do.
Ginger Snap.
So hit subscribe and join.
I don't know, Ginger. Or
with every search we pave the
Butterfly.
way.
Ashley.
Together
Bonnie.
we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
Well, hello, 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 cool cats and kittens and my beautiful pearls. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Friday. Yes, it's Friday. Hallelujah. Friday. We made it, mother chickens. Really do appreciate you all. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is Friday, March 21st, 2025. It is currently 6:14 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Okay, Cassie, can you send it to me? Um, if you guys can send it to me, we'll read that in just a second. Thank you all so very much. Really do appreciate you. We've got some things. I usually don't do these kind of lives, to be quite honest with you. I really try to avoid them. Um, but I am going to address this one. Uh, I may address very, 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 very rarely. Um, and the reason I am addressing this is because we share the same mods, a lot of the same mods, and I don't want my mods to feel any particular way, and I just want to address some things um, about Julie, who is another channel, and she went in there. She did a live today. I was listening to it, had my headphones in. I was actually volunteering for my church with a fish fry that we do this time every year on the weekends. And so at the very end, I had my headphones in and I was listening. And then I had to, do school pickup and drive home and all that. Uh, but so I wanted to address some things because one of my mods, who is in here now, Bliss, she was kind of singling out Bliss, in my opinion. First of all, I want to say that I think Julie is has a big heart. I'll say that. I think Julie has a big heart, and I think um, she means well, but I also think sometimes she goes a little too far down the rabbit hole. And in my opinion, gets a little conspiracy. And I don't do the conspiracy stuff. And I just kept hearing her, talking about Bliss. And one thing is, my mods are great. Everyone knows my mods are, and I'm not just saying that, but they're the best. They come in here, they make everyone feel welcome. And, I think Julie said something like her and Bliss were just talking about meeting the other day, like in Texas or something like that. And now today it's this. And Julie, if you're watching, you're welcome to be in here. I got blocked in your chat by someone, I don't know. Um, but you're welcome. Nobody block her. I'm going to go over some things. Uh, but I kept hearing her saying, I think it was the last 2 days I was listening while I was driving about she didn't make the cut or whatever. There is no list. There is none of that, um, at all, at all. Zero, zilch, nada, none. Um, 1 second here, guys. I don't know why it keeps doing this. We'll do it this way. Um, Thank you guys for your donations. I'll go over them here in just a little bit. I promise. I really do appreciate the support, very, very much, y'all. Um, but there are some things that I do want to address. Uh, and there's a lot of frustration. Let me first say that in this case, there's a lot of frustration. But I believe there's frustration. I don't care what side you're on, making the cut, like as in, uh, what people would call like, okay, I'll check that in a second. Um, Meaning, what people would call the green team, like the nose, I guess you would say. There is none of that. We all do, I mean, it's it's ridiculous, you know what I mean? I try to stay away from all of the bull hockey and all of that. So, let me pull this up. There's some things that I want to address in this. Credit goes to Miss Julie, and we're going to play it. Again, I apologize. You guys know I normally don't address anything like this, but this time I am, because I know we share a lot of the same subscribers. Um, we share a lot of the same mods. I know there was, a lot of people upset today with Julie, maybe even with me. I don't know. Um, Thank you, Sped. Really do appreciate you, darling. It's very kind. Um, but I do have to address this. I do have to address this. Um, she's frustrated, in my opinion, that for a number of reasons, but I think she's frustrated because she feels like Eric Craddock, uh, like when we send tips in or whatever, they don't get back with her. And this is the thing. We are over a year into Sebastian missing. They know where this case is headed. Just because I feel this may be pertinent, she feels it may be pertinent, doesn't mean it is pertinent to any investigation. And it certainly doesn't mean uh, that they owe us anything. 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. Um, and I understand that, I've emailed uh, Craddock before. I've obviously emailed uh, others. Some have responded, some hasn't. And they particularly don't owe anyone. I mean, I'm just going to be blunt with you. They owe their people that lives in the community more than they owe any of us outside of the community answers. um I I understand the frustration with, not being as, doing any type of press conferences and stuff, but I do feel exactly where there is no green team, there is no packet. It's complete. Someone would send me a packet, I would show them a middle finger before, just to be blunt with you. Um, so anywho, I understand that, but let's just play it. Again, credit goes to Julie. Link is in the description. Mods will drop the link in chat as well. And we'll go over this. Here we go.
I click off of this, hon, Callie.
I think I need to fast forward a little bit right here. Oops, what am I doing here?
That's what she said.
God.
What? Oh, hold on. Did it not record? 1 second. Two seconds, y'all. Something's not. It went to Brittany. Okay, oh, sorry, I didn't have it on the thing. I had it on YouTube. Let me slow it down. Because I did it double speed.
Okay. Strange they won't let FBI in. I agree. Julie's had a rough day. Of course, you're so sweet. What is it? I can't go off of here. If I click off of this, hon, Callie, Cricket, as a mom who's lost a 4-year-old to cancer, honestly, I don't think Seth could care much else except missing his son. Yeah.
We're going to get to where she addresses me.
Listen, you guys got to remember something. Smiley's been on TikTok. Smiley's been on YouTube a long time. Justin's been on YouTube a long time. Hey.
Hold on. 1 second, guys. I apologize. This is not the first one I wanted to go to. I apologize. I'll get it straight in a minute. I usually have my lives pretty well planned out. But this one is kind of a one that I don't. Okay.
If I click off of this, hon, Callie. All right, last question. Do you think that... And I got to figure out who. What I'm going to have to do is get rid of all the mods and have new mods all over again. Anyway, I'm not going to play it again. You guys know her, because you had to know her. Man who is going through a traumatic moment.
Give it 2 seconds.
And is vulnerable and is an autism parent. Who do you think in the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Tony, Michelle, and Liz Blessings, do not want me to go to the DA about with regard to Rag's talk? Who could her boyfriend be that they don't want me to?
I don't know who a rag top is. I couldn't tell you who a rag top is. I don't think nobody wants you to not go, but I think it's, I mean, you can go and send them whatever you want, but you can't expect them to answer you for every single thing that they're asking. You're asking. That's not the way it works.
Tell the DA about. Any guesses?
And let me just say something. The DA is so on top of this case that, and Ken Widener has always, I mean, he was in the room when Seth, Edgar, and KK, were there. I think he was even there when Sebastian first went missing. You know what I mean? So we'll get to it.
Seth needs a lawyer. He absolutely does. The head guy, Carter. Any other guesses? Who is talking to Tony? Who is talking? Who has been talking to Tony? Who does Tony have a relationship with? Who is Tony telling all of us to trust? Even if he doesn't return any of our calls or tips or emails. Carter, right?
So this is what I've been getting. This is what I hear. That Sumner County doesn't reach back out to her, that Tony doesn't reach out to her, that I don't reach out to her, that others don't reach out to her. I mean, what do you want? What do you want?
Carter. That's who's talking to Tony. Michelle and Bliss Blessings are friends of Tony. I know this because they defended Tony to me and Tony put me on the shit list. Okay? Now, here's the thing that I'm worried about with regard to getting justice.
Now, let me just say something. Tony has been in your chat. Yeah, it's her channel, it's her opinion. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And I'm replying to that. I was blocked in there. So here I am.
For Sebastian. Number one, well, there's a million things, but let me just start with this thing. Not that it's the number one in importance, but just on my mind right now. Sebastian wouldn't want his father set up to be accused of doing something he didn't do.
Listen, Seth has nothing. Seth is not, he's not scared of anything other than not finding his son. That's the only thing he is terrified of.
We need to find Sebastian. Meanwhile,
Agreed.
Tony has Seth in a courtroom in Pennsylvania where Sebastian's nowhere.
That has absolutely nothing to do with Tony, by the way.
Near that courtroom in Pennsylvania. Barbecue Lady doesn't know where Sebastian is. Granny's Watching doesn't know where Sebastian is.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm so tired of hearing about the court stuff. All of it, to be quite honest with you. But
if my kid was missing, I'd be standing outside the properties of the most likely people involved, the people who lived in their house with Sebastian, who hated him, treated him like crap, abused him, were abusive people themselves, have criminals in their families, and own a number of properties. I'd be banging a drum outside of their properties, which is not an infinite number of properties. You're talking 10 to 15 properties, and say, let me in. You need to search right here. Bring an excavator. Bring in cadaver dogs. Bring in search dogs.
But this is the thing. You can say that till the day of judgment. You can go out there and say, bring this, bring that. But if it has nothing to do with the case that they are well on track with, what's the point? Law enforcement knows a shit ton more than we do. We have Sumner County, TBI, FBI, Secret Service. I mean, they know a hell of a lot more than any of us. Any of us.
Don't drag my ass up to Pennsylvania when I got a kid missing in Tennessee. Wasting time with two creators, hater creators, yes. But so what? Your ego is so fragile, Tony.
Again, it has nothing to do. That is, you know, that's not Tony's circus or his monkeys. I mean, it's really not. That's more of to do with, that Nick and all of them do more of that stuff, I think.
Then you got to sue people saying bad things against you, even if it distracts from the Sebastian Rogers case, finding Sebastian, what we're supposed to be focusing on. There's no leadership. There's no plan. They're not telling us what to do. There is no list, Julie, Justin says. Justin, answer this question for me.
Here's where it starts.
Please, don't go away, Justin. You came in, so please stay and answer these questions. How is it that Michelle Lee, who is friends with Tony, has the phone number and is talking to a woman named Rags Talk, who was a regular panelist with Barbecue Lady? Any idea?
Okay, again, I don't know who this Rags Top person is, so I can't speak on Rags Top or anything. I don't know how she's connecting these people at all. I can't really speak on it.
Justin? Also, Justin, do you think it is a good use of Seth's time and energy to be in Pennsylvania in a RICO case currently involving Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady when neither of them have Sebastian nor know where he is? Is that a good use of Seth's time? If you were Seth's advisor instead of Tony, would that what you would advise him to do? Spend his time?
I don't think that involves anything. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't take any more of Seth's time than anyone else. That's what his attorneys are for.
Time with these two idiots. The other questions I have are, why would Michelle Lee, who's friends with Tony, try to discourage me from going to the DA with recordings that she posted herself on X, where this woman Rags Talk that they know, they gave her phone number, she texted me yesterday. Don't go to the DA, said I would go in real life on her when literally playing recordings of her own voice on Barbecue Lady show, talking about she's gonna make sure they never talk to Seth and Tony again. And she's gonna go to that first vigil where Bullhorn Betty was arrested. And there is no video of Sebastian after midnight. Why would Michelle Lee, who's friends with Tony, be in touch with a woman like that? Justin. I don't.
Again, I don't. Okay, Tony, I got you. I don't know about any of that. It's a free country. You can send 70,000 tips in a day if you want to, or to the DA. But again, just because you send something in doesn't mean it's pertinent. Just because you think it's valid or I think it's valid doesn't mean it is. It just doesn't. And that doesn't mean you get an answer either. Just the way it is.
No, but I don't think it's some big conspiracy. Do you trust Detective Carter? And if so,
yes, I trust Detective Carter. I trust Sumner County. Yes, I do. I don't. That's just me. Also, whenever I was at the vigil recently, being there, shaking hands with law enforcement, speaking to law enforcement, seeing the tears when the guy was taking, the plaque of gratitude from, the church and all of us. I know this case weighs extremely heavy on them. And I can tell you, they're going to get justice for Sebastian. I don't know when that will be. I think it'll be sooner than later, I hope. But just because it's been a year doesn't mean they don't have anything. It doesn't mean justice isn't coming. It doesn't mean there's corruption. I mean, I'm just saying, if you, Sumner County, little Sumner County has Big Brother, TBI overlooking, Big Brother, FBI, and Secret Service looking over them. There's not going to be corruption in this. Just saying. There's not. Now, does that mean that, I think it in all police precincts, county, I think there's corruption to an extent of, that you may have a bad cop or two, whatever, but I think that Sumner County is doing uh, everything they can. Absolutely everything they can.
Why do you think dozens of people, dozens, Justin, and I will be gathering more, have never, ever, ever received phone call returns, email replies, even just to say received? Dozens of people, not 2, not 12, not 24, more than that.
Well, I will say this. I have, again, I've emailed Detective Carter, gotten replies. I've emailed TBI, gotten replies sometimes not gotten replies. There's been many times. I can tell you that if it's pertinent to the case, Smiley, you can testify to this. They call us. They call us directly. They call us directly if they feel like something is pertinent, because they have reached out to a few creators in the past when they felt like they needed to know more or wanted something. And let's be clear here. This is what confuses, I believe, a lot of even creators and people. They need first-hand information. First-hand information. I can send them information and say, Billy Bob said Susie was there at 3 a.m. when the crime was taking place. That's not firsthand information. Only if Susie if Susie was there with Billy Bob, that is firsthand information. So when you are sending them information, you need to either get Billy Bob or Susie to speak with them. Otherwise, that is hearsay. That's all it is. There we go. Correct. Otherwise, it's hearsay, which requires an exception to be admitted as evidence. Yes. So I understand that, you know, we can say, hey, you know, this might, such and such is going around that this happened, you know, if you want to look into it, you know, if they feel it's pertinent, they might look into it. But if it is not pertinent, then it's out the window. Thank you, Widow Bailey. Sometimes I need a mental break just to clear my mind from YouTube to refocus. I honestly think Julie has a great heart, but I also think she needs a break. I agree. I agree. I agree. Um, and you know, I just think I'm not here to trash Julie or anything like that. I have always been nice to her. Um, I felt really bad for a lot of times because, you know, there's people that pick on her and all of that. And I always try to be for the underdog, if you will. And that's just kind of who I am. But I think she's out of line here. I think she was totally out of line. How she was to Bliss, I think she's out of line of how she's, uh, you know, involving Tony in things that he's not even involved in. Um, so there's that.
From Brandon Carter, who's supposed to be answering it. Why do you think Brandon Carter isn't responding to tips? And don't you think that in an actual court case, the fact that people are out here saying he's not responding to tips might hurt the chances of getting a conviction if the defense were to say, well, you haven't answered all these tips. I have a dozen people here.
No, answering the tips and looking at the tips are two different things. They're not going to waste time, resources, money of looking into things that are BS. BS. Sometimes I get emails and they are wonderful. Sometimes they're eh. And sometimes I just am like, oh, that's way out there. You know, it's someone else's opinion. Uh, and you know, you're just like, thank you, and kumbaya and move on. So
I have 20 people here who said that they never got a call back. How do you know you haven't missed something? You haven't found the real abductor. You didn't answer tips. Did you?
because they would have an evidence of the case that they are putting together to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that there is no one else. That would be why.
Just restrict your thing, or did somebody else? Oops, sorry. Hang on 1 second. I don't know who deleted his message. What do you think, Justin? Since you came in my chat saying it's not some big conspiracy, right? I'm crazy. I'm nuts. You think it's wise if you were Seth's attorney? You think you would tell him this department who
What I think it boils down to, Mohawk, is she feels like she's not getting the attention from, or the response from, Sumner County or Tony, which she's blocked in her chat, by the way, just the same as I am now. But it's hard to, communicate whenever you're blocked.
somebody called into named Ragtag, whose boyfriend works there, could have access to files, could have access to evidence rooms, could have access to phone messages. It's a good idea to go in there and speak on the phone regularly without an attorney when you haven't been cleared in.
I don't believe that there is anybody at Sumner County that is looking at files, that is speaking on it online. That's
This
crazy.
case. But we do recommend that in addition to Tony, he also have an attorney every time. Is that in Seth's best interest? Justin.
I told
You
her,
ask us to trust Carter. You say they're close. They know. They're working with Seth and Tony all the time. And we have to trust that and trust Carter.
no, I say keep the faith, is what I say. And I say I trust Sumner County. I know how Seth is, and that he's not just going to say, "Oh, okay, I trust you." I mean, if I was, if I was in Seth's position, I wouldn't say, "Oh, yeah, I just trust you." Like, they would have to really convince me, show me that they are doing something. This woman, his name is Julie, Fly Girl, and she's speaking on the Sebastian case and saying that she's upset with Sumner County. She's always felt like there's a lot of corruption. But I'll be honest with you, like, I think we say corruption whenever we just are frustrated most of the time. Oh, they're corrupt. Oh, they're corrupt. Well, how do you know someone is corrupt? Like, if you know someone, like a police, is corrupt, then you contact the TBI. They take care of it. They're doing that with down the street with the other, I forget, we've talked about the other police office that they're looking into that right now. They are very their lips are tight here. And Elisa, I agree. I think they have a really hard time of communicating, if you will. And that's frustrating. It really is. I think, and I say this respectfully, I wish Sumner County and TBI would share more. They used to share, but before summer, Wells, there was a young girl who in Tennessee who went missing, and 4 guys had abducted her out of a carport, and they were very, very open with that. In fact, the TBI, they were out in the street answering questions, and they got a lot of it was a very high profile case, and they got a lot of crap. And ever since then, after that, now they share nothing. Nothing. And when you share nothing, people get frustrated. And I understand the frustration. I do. But just because they're not sharing doesn't mean there's corruption, doesn't mean they need to answer emails that, in their opinion, is probably unrelated to the case, or it's not where the case is going, or they already know it. Right? And they're, probably not going to call, a lot of YouTubers back and be like, "Oh, hey, um, yeah, we're working on this. Let me tell you what we're doing here." They're not going to do that. And that's just it. Have they contacted people on YouTube? Some of us, yes, they have, for specific information. But if they want something, they'll have no problem contacting you. There is probably nothing they already don't know, really, except for maybe where Sebastian actually is, which is the main thing. I believe they know the players. I believe they know how he was taken out of that house, in my opinion, and all of that. You got to realize, since just 7 or 8 days after Sebastian went missing, Nick Barris was saying, "I'll tell you flat out, this is a criminal investigation." You've saw my email with the only detective who has been on. This is the only case that he has done in the past year and continues to do. If they weren't making headway with this case, they would not keep an investigator on this for over 365 days. The only case that he does, he is not taking any other cases whatsoever. Carol, what do you mean, can we change the subject? This is what the subject's about, honey. This is it. This is what the lab's about, darling.
Even though the everyday person can't get through to him. Why should we trust them? Since you came in my chat, you're here. It's not a big conspiracy, so, let's just ask logical questions. Is that a good idea? If Seth actually had a real...
Well, you're making it sound like a big conspiracy, though. That's the thing. Why is this person doing this? Why is this person telling me this? Right? Do your thing. Do it. Do it. If you want to email them till the cows come home, do it. Right? Nobody's stopping you.
Really good attorney who was working full time for him? Or is it maybe Tony is acting as a gatekeeper, keeping out attorneys who would say, don't talk to law enforcement? I've reached out to Detective Carter. Did I get an answer? No. I'm sure that they know where the investigation is. So we're just supposed to trust him. That's your position? Okay.
Well, I have not seen any sort of corruption whatsoever, because it's taken over a year doesn't mean there's corruption. Some of these cases take years and years and years. It's a process. Doesn't mean it happened. I mean, shit. You don't think Seth, wants it done yesterday? Of course. I guess, CC. I guess.
Are you concerned about Rags Top's boyfriend who?
I don't even know Rags Tops. And if her boyfriend works in Sumner County, I'm sure he would be telling her to zip it. But I don't even know who Rags Top is. I don't even know if Rags Top is a real person. Never heard of them, but I don't believe there's this corruption.
Michelle Lee and Bliss Blessings, who are friends with Tony, know her identity and has a boyfriend.
Yes.
People have heard his voice in the background when she was on Barbecue Ladies. Should we be concerned that there's somebody working at the sheriff's department who has a girlfriend who called Seth a liar and said that it's not for me, you, or anyone to say what's in Seth's best interest?
I was in her
child, and
chat.
he chooses what he wants to do. Do you think it's possible that a parent of a missing child who is in the most vulnerable position of his life could be possibly taken advantage of?
Do I think it's possible? Absolutely. Yes, it is possible. Do I think that's happening? No. Not with. She wants to make it seem like Tony's taking advantage of her. Well, this is the thing. Tony does this for free. He was giving her information which she was telling her friends. That has since stopped. Thank you. Thank you for that. And yeah. Yeah, Smiley asked for a link. I got blocked. This was an hour ago, 2 hours ago, something, few hours ago.
By people who may care.
Oh. But this is the thing. If Seth is happy with Sumner County, who am I to say otherwise? Who am I to say otherwise? That's just it. Who am I to say otherwise? Even when I, had some issues with Tony back in the day, I always said, if Seth is happy, then so am I. That's just it. It's Seth's son who is missing. That's right. That's what I said.
Care about him, but also have their own self-interest. Is it possible that Seth, in this vulnerable position, could be taken advantage of.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, this is crazy. It's nonsense. Thank you, Michelle.
You trust Carter, right? I'll ask you one more question, Dustin.
I do.
This Carter, this man. Remember this?
You want to have this conversation, sir? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone. I'll do you one better, and I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
We're not gonna have a powwow like that. What Bobby and Carter was Chris talking about? I'll do you one better, and we'll get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all have this fucking powwow.
Yep. That's when you see, allegedly, when Sebastian first went missing, Edgar and law enforcement allegedly had a powwow, if you will, and then Edgar said things smoothed out, and then there's allegedly another bump in the road, and allegedly they have not been speaking with law enforcement since very late summer or around the beginning of fall, somewhere around there. So I don't know what she's reading into that. She's just reading too much.
Is it Brandon Carter, the one investigating? That's the one we need to trust?
Well, just because I don't understand that. Just because Edgar says, we'll have this little effing powwow, that doesn't mean corruption or anything else. Like, what do you want? What are you saying?
Chris seems to trust him. I'll play that one.
Apparently you have not heard Edgar say on his last rant tirade that, well, we all have some sort of relationship with law enforcement. Now, some of it's good, some of it's bad, which means we know Seth has a good relationship. You don't hear Edgar Steen, giving the praises of Sumner County anymore. So, what do you think? Where do you think his is at right now? Do you think now that maybe something, law enforcement has strategy. They build rapport, right? They will make you think, oh, come on, let's get you comfortable. Let's get you talking, right? They do what they do. And they do everything strategically. Everything strategically. Edgar was bragging that he was riding with them in the car, right? I believe he's not riding with them anymore. I do believe, in my opinion, he'll not be in the front seat, but the back, riding with them again, in my opinion.
Again.
You want to have this conversation, Seth? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone. I'll do you one better, and I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
Bobby would be Bobby Simmons at the TBI. Carter would be Brandon Carter. But we're just supposed to trust it. Tony talks to you, Justin. Seth talks to you, right? And we're supposed to trust them.
To me, this has, even though she doesn't say it, to me, this has everything to do with who's not speaking to her? Who's not speaking to her? Right? It's law enforcement won't answer my emails. I'm not on the list. Tony talks to you. Seth talks to you. That's what I keep hearing. Because yesterday I was listening to her while I was driving, and that's what I kept hearing. And that's what I kept hearing today.
I trust Seth. Even though Tony is working with people who say it's not about a list, by the way, Justin. It's not about a list for me. Don't try to twist it like it's a list and like it's I'm being jealous or something like that. It's like I know when people are gaslighting. I believe Seth posted something earlier on his Facebook. Okay. I don't know why we should just keep having faith when evidence piles up and piles up that they don't respond to tips, that Chris trusted Carter from the beginning, that there's certainly.
First of all, you don't know what's evidence. You have no idea what's evidence. I have no idea what's evidence. Okay? You're saying evidence keeps piling up. We don't know that. We don't know that. Law enforcement does.
Somebody who has a boyfriend that Tony, Michelle, and Bliss Blessings know their name. She texted me yesterday because they had.
And this is the thing. She wonders why both sides don't really talk to her in this. I mean, I've been nice to her. I've had her call in. We've texted each other. I felt sorry for her a lot of times because, I mean, I think people are, go too hard on her a lot of times because, I mean, I think sometimes she's out there. I agree. But just because someone's out there doesn't mean you got to be a jerk or mean to them. You know what I mean? Even when I disagree with someone, I try to be as respectful as I can. Usually 99.99% of the time, I don't say anything because it's just someone else's opinion. Doesn't change anything.
Had her text me to try to get me not to send the voice recording of her talking about her boyfriend to the DA. Why would they not want that to go to the DA? I'm not talking about why would Ragstock not want her voice going to the DA. Why would Tony and his friends not want that going to the DA? Why should there be information I should hold back from the district attorney? See, I think we're being snowed.
I don't care what she sends. That's the thing. She can send it till the cows come home. Send it, send it, send it. Email them 2,500 times a day. But you're not always going to get an answer. I don't know.
I think we're being snowed. And I don't think it's one big conspiracy. But I'm not dumb either, and neither is anybody in my chat or on your chats. And people are getting sick and tired of saying, be patient and wait and just trust in people who haven't earned any trust. In fact, they've done things that are harmful to Seth for months. Why should we trust Tony to make the best decisions when people like you and I and others in this chat who are professional individuals who have attorneys in our families, or maybe attorneys themselves would say, never talk to law enforcement until you're cleared without an attorney. Why would you say that's okay for Seth to do? Don't you think?
Like I told her, we don't know how many attorneys Seth has. Um, I know he's used attorneys in Tennessee. And I don't believe that they are um, trying to railroad Seth. I don't think they're corrupt like that um, at all.
I think that's putting your friend Seth at risk. If they could turn around one day, and let's say they charge all of them, they charge Chris, they charge Katie, and they charge Seth with something. Allow him to be this. You come in my chat, right?
Thank you, Kimbo.
It's very funny. It's very funny to me.
Now listen to this. Here comes the next conspiracy.
Saying there is no list. There's no. It's not about a list. It's about people who have their own self-interests taking advantage of a vulnerable parent of an autistic child at the worst moment of their life. That's what I see. Yeah, Seth is his own man. Seth can make his own decisions. But Seth is in a vulnerable position. He's not making decisions. He is there for support and to listen, and he loves him. I agree with that. And Sebastian, come on now, Julie. Others wanted you to get sidetracked. Okay, maybe. I think respectfully, you're out of step on this. I fully trust Mr. Carter. You have no idea what attorney Seth has. No, I mean, I know Seth has an attorney. But I also know he goes on shows and says, you know who doesn't go and talk to law enforcement with attorneys? Me. Or Tony says it for him, one of the two. And you think I'm out of step for saying, I think a father of an autistic child who's in the worst position any parent could possibly imagine in their life should be represented at all times by an attorney. On every show he goes on, there should be an attorney with him. On every call to law enforcement, first of all, there shouldn't be those many calls or meeting weekly. You could give information. And a good attorney, in my opinion, Justin, respectfully, Justin, would say, I will talk to the law enforcement. You do not talk to law enforcement up until the time you are cleared by law enforcement.
Well, let me just tell you something. Tennessee doesn't clear anyone. They make an arrest and then everyone else is cleared. Every state, every county, depends, does things differently. So that's not the way it works. Seth isn't worried about that. Seth has only been worried about finding his son since day one. And if I was a parent, you damn right I would be talking to law enforcement. If I was a parent and cleared, or not cleared, but know I was innocent, you damn right I wouldn't need an attorney to speak to law enforcement. I would be up their ass daily. In crime, people who have nothing to hide nothing. Just the way it is.
If you are not, shouldn't be talking to them. I don't know why you trust Brandon so much. It doesn't bother you that he doesn't call back because Brandon Carter doesn't call you back. You think everybody should feel the same way as you, Justin?
I never said that. I never said everyone should feel the same way. That's what you call gaslighting, Julie. I said I trust Brandon Carter. I trust Sumner County. I trust TBI. Do I agree with everything? No. But I also don't know what they know. I do find it frustrating that sometimes they don't give us a lot. And sometimes I think that can be to their detriment. I didn't say you should feel different. I'm telling you how I feel. That's all. That's all. Thank you, Sharon, honey. Seth is the father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and he can choose whoever the fuck he wants to work with and what info is released. The FAFO will be played out in court. Prayers to all. Thank you so much. Well said, Miss Sharon. Thank you, Michelle, as well.
Everybody should feel that even people who have real tips, valid information to provide to.
This is the thing. You know, I feel like Julie has always focused more on Sumner County and corruption more than she, you know, has a lot of other things there. And I just don't get behind that. I just don't get behind that. If, you know, that I just don't. That's all I can say. I just don't get behind that because if, like I've always said, if Seth is happy with Sumner County, then why the hell would I be unhappy with them? Really? Because I know that I know Seth, right? And Seth isn't the type of person just going to say, "Oh, hey, yeah, I believe you. I believe you." Yep. I know that they had to, whatever they, talk to him about. I know that it had to be, he believed that they were on the right track. Right? I mean, there's no parent um out there that's just going to be like, "Hey, I believe you, law enforcement." Like, you're going to have to show something, in my opinion. Period.
Law enforcement who live in the community shouldn't get calls back because you don't get a call back and you're cool with it. Everybody should feel just like you. We all should trust that.
Gaslighting. And I hate that
Do you
word.
think I should go to the DA or not? Or are you with
I think you
Tony
should
Sponge,
go
who says don't go to the DA?
2,000 times a day if you want to.
Do you think, Justin, FBI should take over this case, or do you think, it hasn't been compromised in any way? Why does he need an attorney for advocating for his son? He doesn't need an attorney to advocate for his son. He needs an attorney to look out for his interests as a person, an adult, and a parent who has not been cleared of possible wrongdoing by law enforcement, who looks at the people closest to the child who's missing for possible wrongdoing. Any good attorney would tell you that. He doesn't need him to advocate for his son. He needs an attorney to protect his safety, well-being, and that law enforcement doesn't, because of their own bias and their own relationships, like the one, "I'll do you one better," called Carter and Bobby will have this powwow together, that Chris threatens them with. Chris feels very comfortable with them. That would make me, if I were his attorney, suspicious of what.
Apparently you have not been keeping up, Julie, because in my opinion, I don't think Edgar and KK are real comfortable right now with them. I don't think so. Months ago. So, things change. Right? They gather everything they need. And then they come to you and they present in a nice folder to whoever the suspects are and says, explain this, mother chicken. And then if you don't speak and shut your mouth and get an attorney, well, then you're not real comfortable, are you? So, don't think that, Edgar and KK are real comfortable, in my opinion.
Why is Chris so, comfortable with them and using it, talking to you like it would be a sort of a threatening situation for you? How do you know that he doesn't have attorneys? I didn't say he didn't have attorneys. He has an attorney. Does he have an attorney that talks to law enforcement with him every time he talks to him? I'm using Seth's own words. When I talked to law enforcement, that he said on a live with Jennifer Coffendaffer and Tony,
Listen to this.
Tony said, you know who doesn't go with an attorney? Seth. Me, Seth.
You know what they were saying to that? You know why they said that, Miss Julie? Because allegedly there was attorneys there with Edgar and KK during their interviews. Okay? So, again, if that took place, then that's fine. They have every right to. They have every right to have an attorney there with them. So does Seth if he wants it. But he doesn't need it because he has nothing to hide, in my opinion. He has nothing to hide. He has been raw. He is a grieving parent who just wants his son. He has never went up here in the entire year and said, oh, I'm innocent, this and this, and made it all about, people saying this, people doing that. It's never been about that with him. It's, I just want my son home. I'm going to do these interviews. I'm going to advocate. I'm going to search. I'm going to pound the pavement until we have answers. That's all. That's all it's ever been. He was about to get his son, and he was at work, clear as day, for nearly 13 hours on a camera inside of a jail. So you don't really, it's hard to jam someone up, in my opinion, who is at work and working in a jail the night your son goes missing. And there's, a person pulling up in a car, getting out of the car, at least two people coming back, working around, doing something around the back of the car, and then one person heading back toward the home. If that, in my opinion, doesn't say someone in the house knows, then I don't know what the hell does. That's just my opinion, though.
Tony saying that. That's who said that. With Jennifer Coffendaffer. An attorney would tell you, I'm protecting your legal interests until you are cleared. That was moons ago? What? What was moons ago? The one with Jennifer Coffendaffer and Seth? Dreamer G? No. That was right at that was
That went over her head. The person was saying that was moons ago was talking about Edgar saying the thing about Bobby and Carter. You're talking about what they said on Jennifer's, which was Seth doesn't have to go with, an attorney to an interview.
that was at the weekend prior to his vigil in March. That was in February, the end of February. It's March 21st. It was less than a month ago, Dreamer G. I'm talking about the interview that was less than a month ago. Is that a long, is less than a month ago, moons ago? Come on, go ahead, text all your friends, all your little buddies, Justin. Have them all come in my chat, all your Pearl girls.
Listen.
Come on in my chat, and we'll all have a good debate. Because frankly, I feel like, well, you're assuming, why wouldn't he have an attorney? I didn't say he didn't have an attorney. I said he does have an attorney. He doesn't have an attorney that is with him every time because he himself said it. And he's not on the interviews when he goes on, let's say, Nancy Grace with you and Tony. Did you guys bring an attorney with you for Nancy Grace? Was an attorney with you for Nancy Grace when you talked to Nancy Grace, Justin? When you, Tony, and Seth talked to Nancy Grace, did you or did you not have an attorney with you? Nancy Grace is a prosecutor. Yeah, that video from Chris saying Carter and whatever was from Web Sleuths early on, well, not the first half of the year that Sebastian went missing for sure. Yeah, they had an attorney with them. What does that mean? They're smart.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Edgar and KK are smart that they had an attorney with them. I mean, if I were them too, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would have my attorney with me too. I agree. But if Seth, he just doesn't need an attorney to hold his hand while he does an interview. It's just that. If he wanted to, he would. So
having an attorney is not a sign of guilt when you are a parent who hasn't been cleared. It's not about PR. It's about.
I get what she's saying, like about the attorney thing, but what does this have to? What does this drama have to do with anything? Kiwi honey, there isn't a side that really has her, to be quite honest with you. I'm not trying to be mean, but she's just a loose cannon sometimes. I mean, I understand that Julie she means well. She means well. But she just gets out there. Out there. She tries to piece things together, in my opinion, that it's just irrelevant.
Protecting people from going to jail. What are you going to say if Seth gets charged with a crime? All right, just last question. Do you think the FBI should take over this case?
He's not going to.
Given the fact that from the start, the scene was compromised by them not protecting the scene.
Do I believe Sumner County messed up in the beginning? Absolutely do. Yes. I've never held that back. I think they were blindsided. I absolutely do. Does that mean they're corrupt? No, it doesn't. But I support them. I at the end of the day, I've always said that I believe this will be a digital case. That's what I think this is going to boil down to. This is going to boil down to cameras, data, all data. Right?
The house, letting people go in and out of the house. And ever since then, there's been so many different things involved and people involved, and possibly moles in the sheriff's department. Never acknowledged Sebastian's child abuse. Carter tells you it's a criminal investigation, and then Craddock gives a statement to Nick Barris 2 days before the 1-year anniversary and says it's not a criminal investigation. And you were blindsided by that.
Let me tell you something. I fully stand by my work. Fully. If I tell you and show you that Mr. Carter sent an email saying this is a criminal investigation, I'm not going to say allegedly. I still stand by that. This is a criminal investigation. Nick Barris said a year ago that this was a criminal investigation. Now, he did not tell Nick Barris that this wasn't a criminal investigation. He said this is a investigation. Now, why don't they say that's criminal publicly? Well, in my opinion, because it's strategic. They want individuals to be as comfortable as possible. They don't want to perhaps single out people that they are investigating, looking at. It's strategic. Now, the FBI, we've known this has been criminal for a long time, even before my email. So there's that. The FBI only deals in crime. So it's interesting. But I stand behind that email 1000%. Otherwise, I would be saying allegedly Mr. Carter sent this. No, he sent the damn email. He said it's a criminal investigation. I stand behind it.
Oh my God. Here we go. We got the cavalry coming to go after Julie for questioning Tony. It's Tony's defense team. Justin, I don't have trust in you anymore, frankly. You say you know everything. You didn't know about Daniel's record. You didn't know half the stuff.
Well, I've never said I knew everything. I wish I did. That's the frustrating thing for all of us. But when it comes to Daniel, I was the first one that brought him up, Julie. Now, did I run his background at that time on his, criminal history or anything? No, I didn't yet. I didn't. But you said you were watching me, and then because you were watching me, you ran his background. I mean, I'm sure I would have found that out eventually, probably the next day when we talked about it again. But thank you. Thank you.
You still don't know half the stuff. You tell your audience, wait, one day I'm going to tell you all the things that I know. But in fact, you don't know everything.
No, I've said there's some things that I am going to tell the audience that I can't say right now, because if I did say it, certain individuals would know where it came from. So that's what I've said. I can't say certain things because individual or individuals would know where it came from. I've never said I know everything.
You tell people to trust people who there is reason not to trust them.
Nope. I say I trust law enforcement. Seth says he trusts them. And I tell people to keep the faith. I've never tell people how to believe. You're a grown ass adult. You can believe and feel however you want to. That's just that. Kaz, I know, but I was blocked in her chat. And I think she's, and this is the thing, we share some of the same mods. She modded some of the people that, I mod, and then she was extremely rude to one of a very good person who mods for me and modded for her, and she just literally threw her under the bus in this live. And so that's why I'm addressing it. I usually don't do this kind of thing. You guys know that. But 'tis the season today.
Because it is not acceptable to not return tips, even when they don't even get the tips. People call and say, can I send you an email or a video? Where should I send it? And they don't even respond to tell them where to send it. How is that legitimate? Craddock refusing to hand over the case is like, yeah, Summer Wells case someone wrote. I mean, at this point, they have a shoestring budget in Sumner County. I have looked at their budget. I have looked at the county, what would be the equivalent of, let's say up here, a freeholders meeting.
Every single county in the country has a shoestring budget, just about. That's nothing breaking.
Where Craddock has asked to hire 12 more officers, they don't have the money for it.
Neither does anybody else.
They're working on limited funds.
So is everyone
limited
else.
Resources. They have
So is
people
everyone
on the
else.
ground who are doing shady things, like SF, like Chris's friends who live in the area, or family members. I didn't go for low blows.
You went for low
That's
blows
terrible.
right there.
Go ahead. You can say, tell your pearls how terrible I am. When I asked you the real questions, you came into my chat, not the other way. Just remember that, Justin.
I didn't go in disrespect, I wasn't disrespectful at all.
Don't cry that I came after you if you came into my chat. My chat, not the other way around. I didn't come into your chat to challenge you and say, this is not a big conspiracy and it's not about lists and it's really just about Julie being jealous. No, I'm not jealous.
I never even used the word jealous. Never even uttered that. That is 1000% her. She used the word jealous. I go back, read the text before I was blocked, which I don't even know if it'll show it now because I'm blocked. Never used the word jealous. She said the word jealous.
Nope. There is jealousy, but it's not me towards other people. It could be the other way around, though. Make sure you tell them you came into my chat, not the other way around.
That's correct.
Okay,
Tasha.
we'll see you. Okay. Right? You could be disappointed in me. I have to speak my mind. You didn't like me or agree with me or anything.
Someone said they were, well, a lot of people said they were disappointed with her.
I'm going to say what I want to say. And at the end of this, I'm here for Sebastian, not for super chats, not for Pearl girls and memberships and anything else. I'm here for Sebastian.
She wouldn't let Smiley up.
Stop picking Julie. Are you saying, Linda, you say stop picking, like I'm the one who's picking on somebody or somebody's picking on me? Funny how Justin brought Smiley in. The whole cavalry. Tony, you're.
See, listen. Listen to this. Hold on. Wait, let me just back this up so you can listen to the full thing. So don't.
Memberships and anything else. I'm here for Sebastian.
Listen to this. Listen to what she says
Julie.
here.
Are you saying, Linda, you say stop picking, like I'm the one who's picking on somebody or somebody's picking on me? Funny how Justin brought Smiley in. The whole cavalry. Tony, you must be working overtime dialing. Your fingers must be tired calling your friends to defend you.
That's freaking hilarious. Freaking hilarious. She said, I contacted Smiley and all of these people to come in. I am literally making fish sandwiches. Just finished making fish sandwiches at a church function. I'm not contacting Smiley or Tony or anything else. A lot of times, people are in the bushes and watching. So, and this is what I mean. Hold on. I gotta shut this fucking phone up. My God. Sorry. This is what I'm saying. She starts linking everything together instantly. I'm a gay man that smells like fish at this point. Okay. And I'm getting in my car. So she's linking, I'm contacting Smiley and Tony and everything else. Bitch, wrong. Sorry. Didn't contact anybody. I'm sorry for calling you a bitch. I didn't mean that.
Are you in? Where are you today? You're either in Pennsylvania at home or calling in or texting into people's YouTube lives. You know what all those things don't do? Find Sebastian. What's upsetting me is people who are lying about.
I heard about it on X.
That Carter is doing his job.
I don't even get on
That's
X.
what's upsetting me. Carter is not answering the phone. Carter is not responding to emails. Not to me, to dozens of people. Julie, why would you disrespect Justin like that? Justin came into my chat. I didn't come into his chat. Okay. I was on here talking to people.
Even 90% of the people in there are telling her, Julie, knock, knock. What are you doing? And she's just out there. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she needs a break.
People who were talking to me. He hasn't done anything to you. Well, that's not quite true. Justin does know things that he can't speak on right now because he wants justice for Sebastian. Well, Tasha, let me answer a few of your questions. Let's say I didn't disrespect him. He came into my chat. I asked him legitimate questions.
Yeah,
that's one. He made an insinuation that I'm saying this is just one big conspiracy and insinuated that I'm making it loud. Like this is all one big conspiracy. Like I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's an insinuation I don't appreciate.
Well, you're connecting things that is not even remotely accurate at all.
appreciate. He said, there is no list. Like, my whole deal is about jealousy and drama over a list. No. It was a.
There we go again. She said the word jealousy and drama. Go back. If my text is still there, even though I'm blocked, I don't know if it will, but it will not say jealousy, or I don't think I said drama. I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I can promise you I never said jealousy. So I'm almost certain I never said drama either, but regardless, to me, it sounds like she's just not getting enough attention. That really is what it sounds like. But it's hard to get any attention, Julie, like at least good attention, if you need, my mods will tell you right now, I am not the creator that is going to text you back 750 times a day. I'm not the creator that's going to do it. I'm not the creator that's going to be like all day long. Grace will tell you, no, he will not. It's just not who I am. It's not who I am. The big things, we'll talk about or whatever. But to me in life, really, if it's not real important, it's background music. It's really just background music. Move along. You know what I mean? So, if my mods, they're not the needy kind. I'll just say that. They're not the ones that are going to be like, oh my God, Justin's not giving me the attention right now. It's if you need attention, get a puppy, get a life, get something. You know what I mean? There's just, you can only do so much in a day. You can only do so much in a day. Sometimes I get, a little bit into politics or whatever of YouTube, but for the most part, I really don't give a shit about the little small stuff. You know what I mean?
Sign of something else. It was a sign of Tony's vindictiveness and control.
She has it hard on for Tony right now. Like legit. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if she's made something up in her mind, or if it's because she feels like Tony doesn't come in her chat, which he stopped because he was blocked. Justin, I was there. Never said jealous. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't understand. The thing with Tony. Tony came in her chat, a couple times to support her, and then he came in again, and obviously his message wasn't seen. He was blocked, and I think he tried to come in there earlier again today when all of this was happening. I talked to him after this, and he's like, I guess I'm blocked still.
Upset. Hold on, don't go far. I don't want to go up here. Hold on, I want to answer all of her questions. Then you said, he hasn't done anything to me. Justin fawns over multiple creators. He knows the rules about politeness amongst creators, okay? When you're a creator, you go into somebody else's chat, right? You do certain things. You greet them. Oh, hello, Mr. Mrs. E. Thank you for joining my chat. right? They do it to me. Same thing, right?
When I start my lives, I say hello to almost everybody, even when I start my lives, because I know people get frustrated a lot of times. I used to before I was a creator. Why isn't this mother chicken reading my message? But you're one person and you have, for instance, right now I have 933 people in chat and it's impossible. So when I do my, I try the people that's coming in the first 15 or 20 minutes, I try to say hello to each of you because I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support. I really don't go into a lot of creators. Um, maybe, maybe five, maybe five, six at the max, I would say, that I actually go in and participate uh, on anything. So there's that.
I appreciate having you here. You can drop a link to their channel. And then when you talk to them on the phone, they don't act rude. Take talk to other people while you're on the talking to them. When I gave him something about Daniel Bowersox that he did not know, you say Justin knows things. He didn't know anything about this stuff with Daniel Bowersox and Daniel Bowersox's ex-wife testifying against Nina. He didn't know that. He had no idea. He said it himself. Didn't know. Neither did Tony. They didn't
And
know it.
that is correct. She is absolutely right. I did not know that yet. But I'm going to correct her whenever I was the one talking about it first. This entire thing. So you wouldn't have known it if I hadn't have talked about it first. Because you called in and you said, so I was watching your live yesterday and you were talking about such Daniel and you started digging. So I don't know if this is you're trying to make a pissing contest. Um, but if that's what it is, you can have it. You win if that's what you need. Um, okay. I'm just here to find as much information as I can. I don't find it in one live or 100 even, but I find a little bit at a time. I have a life outside of YouTube. I work. I work here as well. Um, and I have a life. And so that's all I can say.
I have messaged Justin before. He doesn't answer my text. But if he wants something from me, he texts me. I'm just telling you the truth.
That ain't the truth. That ain't the truth. And she's right. She has texted me before and I have not answered, along with 1,000 other people. Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24. Since this live, I've gotten 24 messages. Since this live. I can't imagine my emails. So again, I might occasionally, but I don't ever go to her for any specific information. And to be honest with you, I don't rely on really anyone else's information per se either. You know, you'll hear me say such and such has said this on their live. I have not verified that. Say it all the time. You know, that's it.
I don't like that he's telling people to have faith in Carter and trust in Carter because Carter and him talk or whatever. Tony talks to Carter when Carter isn't doing his job.
How the freak do you know if Carter is doing his job or not? How do you know? I mean, how do you know? That's the thing. Cindy Lou, you don't have to explain. We love and stand by you. Thank you, Cindy Lou. That's why honestly, that's why I never, you know, I kind of go by the rule generally never complain, never explain. And because the people who know you know better. Uh, but for this, I felt like, I'll say it again, just because my mods, she was putting down some mods that we share together. Um, and just BS in general. You know what I mean? And just so that's why I kind of felt like I did this. I mean, did I had to do it? No, but she blocked me. And I was trying to have a conversation. Uh, Justin, you text me back. She is just needing a break. I feel she needs to back off. Um, you know, like I said, I think Julie has a good heart. I really do. Um, I'm not even mad at her on seriously, I'm not even mad. I just think she's ridiculous in this. I mean, I just think she's ridiculous, more or less, in this. I think she really overstepped the way she treated Bliss. Um, I think that, like you have your mods, right? And some mods rarely contact you or never contact you. Some mods do. Um, but I like Bliss. I know that I know Bliss like has the sweetest heart. The sweetest. Like I know all my mods do, but and I can't believe how you go from, oh well, let's meet in Texas to explain yourself, Bliss. Explain yourself, Bliss. And Bliss said she was just yapping 90 miles an hour. Julie was. She didn't even read what Bliss said. Bliss answered her question. And she kept saying, well, answer this, answer this, answer this. And Bliss, as graceful as she always is, said, Julie, I'm removing myself from this. This is ridiculous. And it's just ridiculous the way she was behaving, to be quite honest with you. Uh, and that's all it is. Um, and it's just amazing to me if I ever, you know, if had a problem, if with Bliss or something like that, I would just say, "Hey, Bliss, can we talk?" I wouldn't like single her out during a live, especially whenever you're texting in chat and then you're communicating up here. First of all, things can definitely be misconstrued. And second of all, that's just you are jumping ahead. You are jumping ahead, which is what I feel that she has done in every bit of this. Every bit of this. I think she goes from 0 to 60 and then that. You know what I mean?
As the lead detective or the only detective working full time on the Sebastian Rogers case, Carter has put the whatever. Carter has put this investigation in jeopardy. Not the
Yep.
investigation. Carter has put this case of getting justice for Sebastian in
I
jeopardy
agree.
by not either doing his job, or if he doesn't have the capability or the resources to do his job, to speak out to his supervisors to say, "Hey, I can't handle this volume." Why is it disrespectful? I asked Justin a question. Did he, you said, he says to me, "Julie, you don't know if he has an attorney or not about Seth." First of all, I do know he has an attorney, but I do know that attorney doesn't accompany him everywhere he goes because Seth and Tony said this out. And someone came in the chat and said, "That was moons ago." And I said, "No, it was right before. It was with Jennifer Coffendaffer in less than a month ago, right before the vigil, right?"
Well, again, you understood that wrong, Julie. Again, you understood that wrong because they were referring to Edgar and KK having attorneys with them during their recent interviews, allegedly. So you got that wrong too.
They've iced me out. Smiley is
There it
friends
is.
with this woman who told Smiley a lie and said that I said Smiley had brain damage when I was talking about.
There you go. They iced me out. That's what it's about. She thinks every and you can go back to any of her lives and it is constantly she feels like she is left out. There is no green team, whatever these people say. There is no packet. There is none of that. There is not it's oh my god, these people are morons that believe this. I don't know. They say because Smiley accidentally showed her notes one day, which I will tell you, Smiley has notes out of her ass. She always has notes for her live, always. And she showed something one day, and that's now a packet only in YouTube, only in freaking YouTube. It's insanity. Um, but that's what it is. She said they iced me out. Smiley always has notes.
A creator named Nonsense, who is not creative at all. And I said, "I don't know what kind of brain damage she has. Nonsense that she can't think of anything original to say." And then Smiley's friend wrote to her and said, "I said it about her." So I sent Smiley the email with the timestamp. She could see I was talking very clearly about Nonsense, not you. I said, "I would never say that anything as horrible like that to you. Never. I respect you."
Exactly.
She never wrote me back. I asked my friend, Michael Silvers, who is my friend, to contact Smiley on my behalf, and he did, and she wouldn't respond. That's fine. There is jealousy, but it's not me towards others.
Hey, Rickson.
And it's also not nice when Justin comes in here. I think it's disrespectful. Justin comes in here and Tony doesn't come in here to defend himself, but has Justin and
See what she said? I think it's disrespectful that he has Justin to come in here. No. Again, you're overstepping. First of all, he couldn't come in there and type if he wanted because he's blocked. And at this point, so am I. Because I kept texting and nobody was responding. And then I said, can anyone see me? And nobody responded. And I said, hello, can anyone see me again? Just for safe measure. Insanity. It's, yes. Just wild accusations.
Justin and Smiley to come on in, bring their cavalry of their friends.
See, here we go.
We love Justin. Why are you being mean to him, Julie? I'm not being mean. I'm asking legitimate questions. I don't.
I never said. I've been blocked for at least a month and never commented before that. Gotcha. There you go.
Don't trust Carter. I think, and I'm looking into it because now I got the phone number of Rags Talk, that the partner of Rags Talk might be Detective Carter or a close friend of Detective Carter who they don't want me to go to the DA about.
It wasn't a mod, Butterflies.
And I think the chances of a successful prosecution,
It wasn't a mod.
if left in the hands of only Sumner County.
Well, I'll just say this, Butterflies. I won't say it's not a mod. I take that back. I apologize. I don't think it was a mod because she blocked Bliss herself. So the mods were pretty much all agreeing with me, except maybe one or two. So I'll just say perhaps a mod did, but she blocked Bliss. I do know that on her own. No. Butterflies, I said it wasn't a mod, but then I said I apologize. It may have been a mod, but she blocked Bliss on her own accord, and she told people not to block anybody. So I assumed it would have been her, but again, that's an assumption. Tim, she is really coming off a little unhinged, in my opinion. I mean, this is why a lot of people on, frankly, both sides of the aisle, if you will, just won't mess with her. And that's just truthfully. I think she has I think her intentions are well, and I really think she thinks what she is doing is valid in her noggin, but she is really assuming a bunch of stuff that's just way out there. Way, way, way out there. So, oh, Miss Looney, that's this is just part of YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't get in the back and forth stuff because I'm not here for the drama. I am a true crime channel. True crime. And whenever you get into this, it really takes it really takes the focus off of why we're actually here. And so that's why I really don't really address this stuff, but because of this the way it is.
And Detective Carter and Craddock, given the fact that anybody could walk in and out of that scene in the beginning, and I'm not following up on tips and everything else, is it's slim to none of getting a conviction. I don't think they're protecting Seth the way they need to protect Seth. If Seth was protected, he would be protected by lawyers who are looking out for his best interest in terms of his freedom. His freedom. You're talking to creators. They have something to protect in terms of their reputations, followings, income, whatever.
CT, what's wrong? Oh, what's wrong, CT? Are you okay? Why are you in the hospital? Me too, Cassie. I mean, I don't give time for anything else. Like, life is short for all of this. It really is. You're exactly right, Women's Warrior. That's right. Lorraine, I don't know. I mean, she is a very emotional person, and that's okay. She's just all the things. It's all right, lady. It's okay. Is what it is. We won't know what they know or what they're. Yeah, Austin, I agree. I mean, I think it's just not possible for law enforcement to reply to everything. It's not possible. Um, yeah, Michael, I think I'll be. Yeah. That's what it feels like, Elisa. I agree. To me, it just feels more like she feels left out, and that's what it feels like. But she's made, in my opinion, some of this up in her head, and it's just not there. Whistle. That's funny as shit. Oh God. She's whistle, I'm telling you. CT, if you need anything, call me. I can send you some good food. Um, truth for us. I hope it's a moment. But I know it's been at least a few moments, and you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what else to say. I'm not going to sit here and like rag her or anything, but it's just out of line, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much. I have another live scheduled for Sebastian. Let me see here. It's scheduled in 10 minutes from now. I'm going to make it at 8:40. 6:45. It's going to give me 25 minutes. I need to go do a couple things, and then I'll be back in about 25 minutes or so. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate you. I will come back for sure, Sherry. Yep. I will. Yeah. Yep. Tony's going to come up next live, I think. So it's Vic. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad. Like on everything. I'm not mad at her. Promise. I don't get mad like that at people. Unless you are hurting children, animals, someone who can't fend for themselves, elderly, I get over it pretty quick. Um, but I needed to kind of address this a little bit. This is as much drama as you're going to get from me. All right, guys. I'll see you guys shortly. Much love. Thank you all, my beautiful pearls. Really do appreciate you. Bye bye.